What's up everybody, in this episode I'm going to be testing and reviewing for you guys the Godox VIRSO M2, which consists of 2 transmitters and 1 receiver. And so far today, looking on YouTube, I still see nothing regarding this product besides the Godox videos, so I'll be the first, I believe, to review this product. When I received this product, it was before the product was launched, and this is the prototype version, so I have to wait and see what I'm going to be dealing with here. So I opened the box, okay, cool, and then what made me very happy with this unit here, because every time I have a unit like this that features a recording capability, that alone, at least to me, is worth considering buying this product, because I don't like the devices that are only wireless, because first of all, the audio is always compressed. Every single manufacturer that makes these things here, just so you know, the wireless mode, the audio will be compressed, and the recorder does not compress. And it records in wave 16-bit 48 kilohertz. That is awesome. So if you're looking for a quick little thing, you might want to watch some other video, but if you are actually interested in knowing everything about this product, because my channel is notorious for providing excessive amount of information, and every single second here, even though the videos are longer than most people, this particular video here is going to have every single information and hopefully will answer probably 100% of the questions that you have. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere, I'll be right back. And a quick disclaimer, Godox sent me this product for me to test it out. I don't get paid to say anything. This video is not sponsored by Godox, and all my words and opinions, they are my own. And the Godox shirt here is something that I asked them a long time ago because I like the brand, so they sent me a couple shirts, and that's it. So let's go straight to the point, and I believe the reason why you guys came here to watch this video is to see how good the microphone is, how it sounds, and also how far away you can actually transmit the signal coming from these devices. So I'm going to start with the microphone first. The microphone sounds great, and the mid-range sounds very natural, but I reviewed so many of these products already, and just so you know, you will need to actually bump up the high frequencies in post-productions. Most of these products, they require that. At least to my taste, it requires a little bit of highs, but the mid-range, don't mess with it. It should not mess with mid-range on any microphone. And of course on the receiver you can actually set the gain levels of this unit. It goes from 0 to plus 20. I'm actually shooting with a mirrorless camera, the Canon EOS R3, which DSLRs and mirrorless cameras, they tend to have not so good preamplifiers, but the R3's preamplifiers is actually quite nice because there's no hissing or anything. It's just clean sound. However, the sound that leaves these transmitters using the wireless mode is always going to be compressed. However, on the recorder, you're going to be getting uncompressed wave 16-bit 48 kilohertz, not even 44.1, it's all the way to 48, which for most applications I would say is pretty decent. Of course, it would be even nice if they actually provide a 24-bit capabilities here, but again, 16-bit wave format 48 is pretty nice. And this is the primary reason why this one is definitely a keep, because of the recording capabilities. And the very audio that you guys listening to throughout this entire video, except the unboxing and the manual that I was showing here, is the actual sound from the Godox VIRSO M2. Right now is the audio from the recorder, which I'm going to be using 95% throughout the entire video. And this very moment here, you're actually listening to how it sounds via wireless. Now I'm going back to the actual recorder because this is what I'm going to be primarily using. For my projects, including this one here, I'm only going to use the wireless feature for redundancy and also to help synchronize better. But the final audio with this product or any product similar to this will be always through the recorder. In this box, there are 2 transmitters and 2 lavaliers, and right now you actually listen to the very audio from the actual lavalier that comes included with this product. So it's plugged in right now, and I found that the sound from the built-in microphone is superior to the lavalier, but if you must wear a lavalier, you can actually do so. I'm going to be unplugging it right now, and this is the sound again from the actual built-in microphone. What you're listening to right now is the very raw audio from this unit. There's no EQ, no compression, nothing. So this is what it sounds like straight out of here to the camera. Now I believe most people are going to be wearing the microphone like this here. Maybe they're going to be reversed aside, I don't know, maybe with the clip facing this way here. Now this is how it sounds like wearing the microphone, or if you want to do an overhead somehow on a boom off the frame. So just so you know, you will sound like this. I think it might even help to have the audio to sound a little crispier like this here, because when you're actually having the microphone right here, the voice is projecting in the front, right? And when you have the microphone pointing this way here, it will sound this way, directly aiming at the mouth. And just in case if you're actually shooting this close, you can actually bring the microphone even closer and still off the frame, so the voice is going to sound even better, because the closer to the source, the nicer the sound will be. And at the same time, it's going to be helping to filter background noise, because when you put the microphone away, you have to gain more on the camera, which also introduces more background noise. When you actually have the microphone very close to your mouth, the sound pressure and what's around here is going to help to keep the background out of the way. And another thing to take in consideration, because most of these microphones, they should be omnidirectional, because it helps to capture sound from 360. So if you actually aim the microphone this way here, your voice is still going to be capturing pretty much the same way as this way here. I'm going to show you guys some other exciting ways to use this product, because again, every time I see a unit like this here that features a built-in recorder, not actually built-in because you still need the micro SD on this particular unit here, but anyway, you get the point. Because most people are going to be using this microphone this way here by wearing a microphone, or like I said before, on a boom, like overhead like this. But did you know you can actually do backup audio in a wedding, because DJs are notorious from having cheap microphones. Sometimes the sound cut off and a lot of hisses or humming, who knows. So here's the DJ microphone. Let's pretend this is a DJ's microphone. You simply get a gaffer tape right here where the clip is, and then you tape the thing right here. So when the best man or the maid of honor is speaking on the microphone, you actually have your backup right there, bypassing all the crappy sound from the DJ, and there you go. However, because these microphones are omnidirectional, you're going to be capturing a little bit of the echo depending on the venue. So it would be cool if they actually made a unidirectional microphone, which means it's going to work just like this microphone here. Unidirectional, the sound is captured like narrow like this. And omnidirectional is 360 degrees. So this particular microphone, if the DJ has good equipment, the best audio is going to be through this here. Now, again, always use a backup, because if something happens to this, you actually have this coverage here with a little bit of echo depending on the venue again. But still, this is actually a very smart way to actually back up your sound in case the audio from the DJ is a total fail. Now let's talk about the stuff that I don't like about this product. For example, let's start with the size of this unit. I'm not the engineer of this product. I did not make it or design it, so I don't know what's inside here to justify the size of this unit. And there are other units that feature built-in recorder that it is half of the size of this thing here. So my main complaint is actually the oversize of the unit. The receiver doesn't matter. It can be as large as it wants to be. It's just the transmitters that, you know, is a little bit too big here. Another thing, for example, I'm wearing the microphone and it's recording and it's not muted. So just by removing this out of the box, you have to be careful not to hit the power button, because you're going to mute the audio. And now it's back to recording mode. So you can easily mute the sound here. You can also easily press or cancel the recording, so you have to be careful when you actually plug this in the computer not to press the record button. You have to be careful not to mute the sound when you're actually giving the microphone to somebody. Oh, here's the mic, and the person is going to grab right where the power button is, which also represents the mute. So my main complaints here is the oversize of the unit, the fact you can actually hit this button and the record button here. Everything else I think is awesome. So again, having recording capabilities with this product is always very exciting, and very few manufacturers out there, they actually make ones that feature built-in recording like this, whether it is a built-in memory or with the micro SD card. But of course, on wireless mode, you can actually set the gain on the receiver from 0 to 20. Now, the good thing about this particular recorder on the VIRSO M2 is that you can actually speak loud, and chances are your audio is not going to clip. So I'm going to do this right now here. Hello, testing, 1, 2, 3, yes. So it doesn't clip. And another thing that I like about this particular one here, the way this records or transmits, even with the wireless, there's no hissing, there's no noise floor, not actually something that will bother your recording, so it's pretty quiet. Now it depends on your camera. If your camera has, you know, crap and play amplifiers like, you know, a 7D or something, you know, older cameras, most DSLRs and mirrorless cameras will tend to have a not so great preamplifier. The R3 actually surprised me. The preamplifier is very nice, and this is why I prefer cinema cameras or even cameras like this here. The preamplifiers are fantastic. Because I have so much Canon glass here, I don't have a Sony mirrorless camera, but you know, I still have a professional camcorder like this, which features the same shoe mount that's required for this unit to mount in here. So I'm going to be demonstrating this particular unit designed for Sony right here. And here's something interesting that you guys probably want to adopt or not. I've been doing this for a long time. For example, you notice that I labeled here R, and this one that I'm wearing is L, as left channel, right channel. The purpose of that, for example, let's say that I'm doing YouTube here, somebody else joins in and talk on a video or something, or anything else that I'm doing, I will know when I'm capturing the computer, especially if you're using the recorder here, I know the L labeled device is always going to be my voice, my stuff. And I know this one here is stuff from other people talking on this here. So label your thing, you know, left or right or A, B, whatever you want to do, 1, 2, but keep them labeled here. Another thing that I also do, especially if I'm in a rush, if I'm using this for a wedding or something that cannot wait to open the box in a hurry here, I will know that this actually going to be the one that I'm going to use on myself. So I'll put the one with the label L right here, and then this one right there, and the receiver right here. So when I open the box, I know the L is right here. This is my device. I'm going to be always wearing this one here, and this one, I know this is the one that I'm going to give to people to talk. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is to show you guys how to properly connect this to the computer. So I'm going to be recording a file right now. And then I'm going to stop. And then plug in the USB-C. Be careful not to hit the power button or the record button. And then nothing will happen until you come here and press the power button quickly. And then it's going to switch to red, which means it's on drive mode. There it is. Then you come here and open this, and that's the file inside this record folder that I just recorded there. And if you want to delete this file on a Mac, press Command Delete. Now on a Mac, if you accidentally erase this, it's going to be on the recycle bin here. But on Windows, once you delete off this particular SD card here, like most SD cards on Windows, the file is gone. They do not go to the recycle bin. Be careful. Now to eject the file by pressing the power button, I don't think that's going to do anything, so you have to manually eject the drive on Windows or Mac. As far as battery life, when I received this product, it's still right now at the making of this video, there's no information, not even in the manual, as far as I can see, so I can't tell how long this will last. All I can tell you is that I've been recording this thing for at least 4 hours or 4.5 hours, and there's nothing blinking here saying no battery or nothing like that. Now I've been recording this video for a long time, and I have to stop the video here to say something here. I have to bring this up again, the mute feature of this unit. So imagine if I recorded this whole thing and realized only later on the computer that this whole thing is being on mute, even though my monitor has the audio meter there. Sometimes I can't look at that, right? So Godox needs to update the firmware to make this as difficult as possible to actually mute this unit, because if you scratch your chest here or if you grab something, you can easily accidentally press the mute button here. So this needs to be seriously updated, especially if you give this to somebody else. You don't see the talent kind of doing this and that, and then you realize later the audio is not being processed, because when you press mute, the recorder is not recording and the wireless is not wirelessing it. Now here's the thing, to power the unit off, you already have to press and hold the power button. So I guess my suggestion to Godox is to, I don't know, press it twice or 3 times, but once like this here, that's not good. So right now I'm going to show you guys the Sony version in case you guys are interested in this. I'm going to be showing you guys how this sounds like, including the built-in microphone and the 2 transmitters. I don't have a Sony mirrorless camera, but this is actually a professional camcorder. This is the Sony Age XR NX5R. This camera's primary audio is XLR. On your Sony mirrorless camera, it's probably a plug-and-play kind of thing, but on camcorders like this here, you have to make sure you open your audio thing and make sure they are on an MI shoe set, otherwise you're going to be actually listening to the shotgun microphone, which is now disabled again, back to the transmitter audio only. I'm in my commercial studio. This is going to be capturing sounds from all over the place because I actually have the unit far away from me. And of course, this camera right here is just filming what I'm showing you, but the audio is actually being recorded right here to the camera's card. And also don't forget that these microphones, they are omnidirectional and they do capture the sound 360 degrees. And they're actually far away from my mouth right now, so I'm going to mute this. And by the way, this is set to mono. This built-in microphone is disabled, so right now, all you hear is the mono sound from the transmitter that I'm wearing right now and nothing else. So right now I'm recording in mono and talking to another person. Say something.
Hi everybody, how are you guys doing?
Okay, so this is the demonstration in mono. Let's switch to stereo. Right now you're listening to stereo mode, and of course in post-production you don't want stereo like this. You want to do a mono, a dual track, and then process everything as mono again. This is for control, for voice separation. So the person number 2, say something.
This product records and saves 256 files in Recycle by default.
This is a professional camcorder. You're not hearing any AGC or any artificial gain. So this particular receiver is set to number 10 in audio levels. It goes from 0 to 20. Again, it's set to number 10. And the actual gain on the camera is set to number 5. From 0 to 10, set to number 5. No AGC. Right now I changed the track to safety mode, which means, as you observe, the channel 1 is recording 6 dBs lower than the channel 2. If you accidentally clip the channel 2, you actually have the channel 1 as a safety. Right now I have a single transmitter recording mono, and right now I'm going to activate both of them at the same time in mono, starting right now. So it sounds like this. It gets a little louder, of course, because now we have 2 microphones on. I'm just letting you know, on this particular unit here, there's some buzzing noise right here. Now I'm going to be powering down this unit. You should hear nothing. I'm not sure if that's my camera. I doubt very much it is, because it is the same hot shoe Sony that it is present on your mirrorless Sony camera. And again, this is a prototype version. This is not the retail version. This is not the type of thing that you're gonna get, but I'm just letting you know, on this particular unit here, there's some buzzing noise right here. When I switch to my shotgun microphones, for example, you don't hear the humming, so everything's crystal clear here. Only when I actually plug this thing here, that's when it happens. So when you have this unit set to TX, which is transmit, you only hear the audio that comes from these 2 transmitters here, whether you are using 1 or 2. When you switch to RX, is only the audio that's coming from this built-in microphone here. You can actually record your voice, which is better here than, speaking far away off the camera, right? So this is actually useful for an interview, but obviously you're not going to use this audio doing the edit. It's just doing the raw footage. Now when you switch to TX and RX, which is transmitter and receiver, keep in mind that the audio from this device is going to drop a little bit, so you have to compensate here, because now you're using 3 microphones, and Godox actually double-checked that with me by email, so this is actually a normal thing. So again, you see the audio drop significantly, and when you switch back to TX, which is transmitter, the audio is restored to the full gain that was previously set before. Somehow, on this particular demonstration here, I found that this one here sounds better somehow, because this one sounds a little boxy, or I don't know, there's something different with the sound. But when I actually use this device on my R3, the regular non-Sony one here without the hot shoe, I think it sounds a lot better. Okay, now it's time to do the test to see if this thing can actually go 200 meters. I don't know if that's 200 meters, but that's an excessively long distance right there. I'm gonna go all the way where that first pole is, I guess. So there are 2 tests to make, because with most wireless units that I receive or to test or review, or when I buy one, I expect dropouts to occur mostly when we're actually facing away from the camera, because the body mass contributes to interfere with audio here. So when I go that way with my back facing towards the camera, expect higher chances for a dropout, and when I'm coming back, chances for the dropout would decrease, because I'm in straight line of sight with the camera. So let's start with the test. So I'm going to start the test right now, so start walking. And I forgot to say, I'm actually wearing the windscreen fur, and I feel a little breeze here, so I don't necessarily need to talk all the time, because the actual ambience noise here, you can see if something's going to drop out or not, if the audio is clean or not. You can hear the buses, the cars, and everything else. But I will keep talking here a little bit. So I would say I'm at least, I don't know, 70 meters, 50 meters. Each big step here represents 1 meter. A meter is equivalent to a yard, if you will, if you are on the American side, which I am in the United States as well. So I'm planning to go all the way to that pole. I don't think that's going to be 200 meters, it's going to be close to 200 meters, but it's a pretty decent test still. Now the wind is actually stronger now. So hopefully this windscreen fur does the job. And approaching that pole. If this thing didn't drop out the audio. I think that's incredible at this distance. And testing 1, 2. And as you can see, during this whole test, there's no blockage or no concrete in the middle. Here is a straight line of sight to the camera, which the 200 meter range is for. That's what they rate this thing for, like no interference, no behind the walls or anything like that, right? So I can't wait to see what this test is gonna sound like, because if the audio didn't drop, that's pretty nice. But I don't know, I'm sure we have some dropouts at least over there. So I think at this distance right here, there's no danger anymore or audio dropouts, because I'm actually on a straight line of sight with the camera. Now I'm gonna be doing a test run to see if this thing makes a lot of noise. So testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2, 3, faster. Testing 1, 2. You know, I want to hear if this thing is going to be banging here or something like that. I don't know. Maybe somebody wants to hear that as well. So I can't wait to see what I'm going to hear on the computer when I check this footage. So I hope my test was helpful. According to my experience testing many wireless units, including this one, stuff that I bought, stuff that I got here from the manufacturers, it doesn't matter. You know, expensive ones, cheap ones. This one here is rated at 200 meters. That doesn't mean they are lying to you. I think what they claim is they travel so far, for example, up to 200 meters. I think they rate when the unit completely stops, like broadcasting to nothing. So I think this unit will do fine for normal situations, like, you know, 20 meters away, 30, 40. That I can pretty much almost guarantee, according to my test there, that you're going to be fine. So with the 200 meters, again, I think what they claim is until they go so far away from this, until the unit completely stops broadcasting. And then that's when they rate. This one can go 200 meters. The other one can go 100 meters. I think that's what they try to say. But for critical audio, when you actually have a dropout, that's when it ends the tolerance of transmission. For example, I would say no more than 40 meters or 50 meters with this unit until you hear a dropout, right? So I don't know why somebody would need to be as far away as 50 meters away or 120 feet or so. So that's going to be making you like a very tiny dot on the video. But if that's what you want to do, you want to pay $3,500 on Electrosonics lavalier system, for example. If you want wireless that goes that far without any dropouts, you need to spend some serious money on that. So the next segment I'm going to show you guys here is going to be probably, I don't know, 5, 7, 8 minute long video, but this is actually very useful to you, especially if you are actually interested in purchasing this unit. So you don't want to skip none of that. I'm going to show you guys the entire manual, what to do, what not to do, and the performance of this product, and also some unboxing. Here's the case, which has a built-in lithium-ion battery apparently. And I also have a Sony unit. You can easily pair this off here or this one here. When you see everything blue here, it means everything is paired, and the orange means this devices are still being charged from the case, apparently. And if you need to pair, you quickly press the pair button. And again, when everything stops flashing, that means it's successfully paired. Now, in order for you to pair this device and unpair this, you have to remove this out of here, turn it off. And the green means it's fully charged right now. And since this device has a Sony hot shoe mount here, it doesn't fit inside the box, so you have to put it outside like this here. And then you press the pair, and this whole thing is going to pair regardless. It's already paired. Blue, blue, and blue. And then when you grab one of these transmitters here, I'm actually going to be talking very close to the microphone. You can actually see my voice right there, which is paired. So easy to do. Then to go back to the original unit that comes with this box here, simply power this off, put that thing back in the case, press the pair button again quickly. Once you see all 3 battery gauges and everything in blue, don't forget to remove the protective film, otherwise nothing will get charged right here. So make sure you take this off. And at the bottom we have all the accessories that you need. So here are the accessories that come with this kit: the manual, the lanyard, the USB-C chargers for the case, and also to be able to charge all 3 units separately. I would guess the red one is the preferred port to charge the case. I don't know if that makes any difference, but since it is red, I'm going to always plug it in the case, not the black ones. Also comes with 2 coiled cables. The black one is for your camera or anything with the 1/8 or 3.5mm jack. And this one here is for cell phones. It also comes with some very nice windscreens, and it's all made of rubber here. Easily fits on the actual transmitter. And it also comes with 2 lavaliers in case you want to use a lav instead of the built-in mic. This tab goes right inside this little microphone jack right there and snaps in. There you go. So the only thing that's holding this is that little pin, and there's no extra clicks here, so if you shake this a lot or if you accidentally do this, it might come off. And obviously the external lavalier plugs right in here. So when you purchase this unit, the first thing you're going to see is the actual language selection. Be careful not to select the Chinese. Do not press it down. You want to rotate, make sure it says English, and then you press English. Now here is one of the transmitters. That's what it looks like on the bottom. This to me is the most important feature because it features a built-in recorder, which I find it much better than wireless. And of course you want to use wireless for that redundancy, for safety, but I will always use the audio from the recorder. I find it to be much better on any device. If it's got a recorder, obviously it's a lot better than something traveling through air. And I also have my handy little iPhone SIM card ejector to reset the unit in case you need to do that. But there are other ways to reset this without resetting through here. Then on the other side, you have your micro SD slot, which is already loaded with one here. And over here, not only you can charge the unit independently, but you can actually plug this thing on a computer, and you do not have to remove the micro SD card because otherwise it would be a pain in the ass. And on top left is the actual built-in microphone. You actually have the choice to plug in any lavalier. And by pressing the power button quickly, you'll see you can actually mute the device. It flashes solid red. The left LED means the charging status of the actual unit, and the middle LED here means the unit is successfully paired, and when it's not on, it means it's not paired. Now the red LED can be a little confusing. If it is solid red, it means the device is on mute. When you actually press the record button here, press it quickly, and then it takes a couple of seconds, and then it starts to flash red, which means it's recording. To stop the recorder, quickly press the record button again. Now you can actually record again when it starts flashing, right? Then you can actually mute the device temporarily. You're still recording. Unmute the device. It's going to be going back to the flashing red. And then to stop again, press the record button quickly. Now when you press and hold the record button, you're going to unpair this unit. Press and hold the record button again, goes back to pairing mode. The transmitter is recording in wave format, 16-bit and 48 kHz. This unit can actually be recording as long as you have data left on the card. However, every 30 minutes it's going to be breaking down to a new file, and it records a maximum of 256 files. To access the files from the recorder, you don't need to remove the micro SD card. Leave it here, plug this thing on the computer with the USB-C, and then you quickly press the power button. The computer immediately recognizes the unit. If you try to record while this thing is connected to the USB on the computer, the recording function will not operate. You have to make sure this is unplugged off the computer, and then you can actually resume recording. Now let's take a look at the receiver. So you're looking at 2 here. This one was sent separately, so I can show you guys how the Sony one looks like, and you'll find the hot shoe adapter right there. You don't need any cables or anything like that. You just plug it straight into the camera's hot shoe. And of course, it also comes with a protective cover. Now the 2 receivers, they are identical, other than a couple of differences in here. This has a built-in microphone, while this one does not. And it is a different type of microphone, as you can see here. This is actually, in my opinion, a much better microphone than this one here. So this is just for the guy behind the camera saying something, you know, the stuff that you don't really use on an interview until the talent starts actually speaking, right? But it does the job a little bit. However, when we actually pair the 2 transmitters plus this microphone here, you'll notice that the audio from this is going to drop significantly, so you actually have to up the gain on your camera. It's almost the same thing as if you were trying to plug 3 headphones using the same cable with a 3-way splitter, so the signal is going to be dropping. So if you don't need the 3rd microphone, I would actually leave it disabled and only pair these 2 transmitters with this thing here. So I'm going to be showing you guys the transmitter that came with this box. And on this side you have the power button and the menu button. On the other side you have the USB-C port and also a reset hole, which you can actually use any sharp object and press it very quickly and the unit is going to be reset. Then you actually have to put it back in the box, press the pair button, and then it's paired again. Wait 2 or 3 seconds before removing out of the box. On the other side, of course, you have the clip and the connectors for charging the unit. By pressing the power button quickly, you can actually reverse the display. Resetting the unit, again, you have the hole right there, but you can also reset the unit by pressing and holding the two buttons together right here, the power button and the menu button. So press and hold together, and then resetting. I have to close down my aperture so you can actually see what's going on in here. So next we have the backlight, 60 seconds, 30 seconds, and 10 seconds. I prefer 60. Press the button. Next will be the track. You have the mono option, stereo, or safety. On the safety mode, it means the left channel is going to be recording the same whatever level that you set, and the right channel is going to record at -6 dBs. The next one will be the volume. Press it in, and then you press the button again, and then you can actually set from all the way up to 20 or all the way down to 0. 0 means absolute silence, and 1, that's when you start hearing things. I wish this dial was operating the other way, because intuitively you probably want to rotate to the right to increase the number, but you have to rotate counterclockwise somehow. That kind of bugs me a little. Press the button, rotate this here, press the button again to make the changes. Press the button again, and out of here. Then you actually have the language, Chinese or English. Be careful with this one here, otherwise you're going to have to read the manual. And next we have the pairing option. Again, you can actually do this right on the case, but you can actually do it manually right here, A or B. To exit here, you have to close down the menu and press the menu again. Then next we have the noise, which is something that every manufacturer is doing this. I will never use this feature because I don't like the way it sounds. I prefer to do this in post-production. So press the button. Then we have the off or on. Make sure this is set to off, in my opinion. And that's pretty much it for this menu. Now the Sony is pretty much identical, other than one more feature, which is the microphone here, which is built in right there. So you press the menu button. I showed you all this already. And then you actually have the microphone, press it in. In this case, transmit and receive, you're actually broadcasting audio from these two devices plus the built-in microphone right here. Or you can actually have only receive or transmit. And again, the sound of this microphone is a lot inferior than this one here. This microphone is pretty nice, but this one here is okay. And that should conclude the entire menu of these units. One thing that I don't like about these units is the excessively large size. As you can see here, this is actually quite massive. The receiver is not a problem because it's going to be on your camera, but this one here for somebody to wear is quite large. And another thing, when you actually give this for the talent to wear, he or she can accidentally very easily bump this mute button here by pressing the power button. As you can see, this unit is on mute right now, and then in the middle of the event, what you're going to do, right? So make sure they don't tap this button here. And these buttons right here, as you can see, they're kind of recessed, but you can still accidentally engage or stop a recording. In my opinion, it should be a press and hold or press it twice or 3 times, something that, it's a little bit difficult. Same thing for this button here. You should be able to press it 3 times or press and hold, I don't know. But to press it very quickly here, you're actually muting the unit again. Now the microphone on this particular transmitters, they're quite nice. The sound is good. The voice seems natural. I just wish it had just a little bit of highs, and I found this a common theme from any of these devices. Every time I have a device like this, even a lavalier from most brands, I will have to crank up the highs a little bit in post-production. Please notice that when you're actually recording with this unit, there's no way to actually set the levels here. And most other units that I previously reviewed before, they also don't have that feature. I don't know why. However, you can actually set the levels on wireless mode, but when you're actually speaking on this microphone here, even if you shout a little bit, your audio will not clip. When you see the actual audio waveforms in the post-production, you see the waves are very tiny, and still there's no background noise, no noise floor, or at least nothing that should bother you at all. You can also normalize the file in post-production if you want to hear it louder, but I would leave the way it is, just add compression, that should take care of it, and also a little bit of EQ, and that's pretty much it. You don't need to do a lot of changes in sound with this microphone. And that's the end of my review. I hope you find the contents of this video helpful. And if you want to subscribe to this channel, I would really appreciate it so I can actually provide you guys more contents like this. So thank you again for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.